It's still Saturday. We already went to the market to get our groceries, but we are now going to this stop right here at this place right down the street. We shop here all the time. They got food, good food. Make a great soup, by the way. Great bowl of noodle soup. And I am going to get me one. So, I'll tell you all about what's happening at my school, what my plans for the future are in a minute. But right now it's time to enjoy some grub. So I'll talk to you later. Alright, they're saying light drinking. Say hello. So, had a meeting with the director at my school today, Saturday. It was this morning. Got there at 7, didn't leave till like 10:30. But we did have to wait over an hour for him to get there, so a lot of it wasn't all one big meeting, to let you know. And he asked me if I knew why we were there having a meeting, and I said yes, because the school was closing. I had already heard that from someone. I'm not going to mention any names, but I heard it from someone who doesn't even work at the school. That's how much word gets around this town. Somebody knows somebody, that person knows somebody, that person knows somebody else. Pretty soon, somebody who doesn't even work at the school is telling me, hey, I heard your school is closing down. But it all made sense. Everything pointed to it. The administrators got a new job, and everything was being packed up. The electricity was off in some of the rooms. It was pretty obvious something was going on, but I expected it. So in the meeting, he confirmed that might be true, but he still wanted to try to keep it open. He has plans and ideas. He doesn't want to lose his investment or the money other investors gave before they backed out and couldn't do it no more. They couldn't hold on until the school became profitable. But he still wants to keep it open, but like he said, he got two foreign teachers, and the only way that would be possible is if we kept going with the 3-hour classes in the morning, 3-hour classes in the afternoon. But they would have to reduce our pay now by another $200 each in order for that to happen. And I just can't, I just can't do that. It's not that I think I'm an American and I deserve more, and there's nothing like that. I simply, mathematically, to live, cannot take $400 a month for 30 hours a week worth of teaching. That's insane. I started out not counting the night classes, not counting those, just the 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon. I started out there at $800. Halfway through this month, we had a meeting and they said, oh, we're going to have to cut it down to $600. And as you know from my cost of living videos, that's like the bare minimum that I can get by on, and that won't leave me much money anyway at the end of each month. I'll be able to live on that, but that's not sustainable over a long period of time. It's just not, because emergencies happen, things happen. Then all of a sudden you have to choose between eating or taking care of this emergency, and that's just not a lifestyle I've ever had, and not a lifestyle I'm going to start now. So that was bad enough. That was like the bare minimum. And then he came in and said $400, and I just can't do it. There's my rent and utilities are $200. If I have to renew my visa for 3 months at a time, that's $180. That means my money is basically gone, save for $20. And I don't know anybody who can live, especially with 2 people, live on $20 a month for groceries. That's crazy. So that's not going to happen, but I will get paid the $600 they owe me next week, and I will work there one more week. I'll work there, go back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He did say that, things might change if he can get one of the investors or two to change their minds and come back. If he can find other investors or think of another way to pay at least the $600, then he would let me know before the end of the week. So it's good to know he wants to keep me, but under those terms, like he said though, he did say it wouldn't be forever. He's talking like 2 or 3 months at 400. But then he's saying, well, you know, we can eventually move that up to 500 when we get more students, and then we get more students, maybe 6, 7. But the thing is, I started out at 8, so I'm going to have to work there for the same hours a lot longer, maybe a year or more, just to get back up to less than what I started out making, what we agreed upon. That was our agreed upon amount. And that's just not good. That's just not a thing. That's not how jobs or businesses work. So, I am officially going to be out of work after next week, but not to worry or despair. I had an interview at a big international school here, IQ International School, actually directly around the corner, less than a 2-minute walk from Camlin. Less than a 2-minute walk. Had my interview with them. This is a full-fledged international school. What I mean by that is they have a full curriculum. It's not just a language school like Camlin or the other one I was at. This is the kids there go all day. They learn math, science, social studies, geography, and of course English. And I had my interview. It went really well. I should hear from them sometime next week. They were very, very honest, saying that, you know, we do have other people to interview, but we will call everybody and let them know either yes or no, so we're not going to leave you hanging wondering. And they said even if we say no now, if you see another ad from us and you're available, feel free to email us again. Send it in again. We keep a list of people that we've already interviewed, and we'll give them priority on the next opening. So whatever happens, we'll see. But I also had leads on 3 more schools. Thanks to a friend, Helen. I appreciate it. And my friend Lyndon left me a comment on one of my videos saying that her school is currently looking for teachers. So I'll have her message me and give me all the details, contact information. This is in a town outside of Siem Reap. It's actually between Siem Reap and Phnom Penh. But still, under the right circumstances, the right school, I'm not opposed to moving. And that's what I love about Cambodia. There's no pressure here. It's like, if you want to move, you move. Pack up your stuff and move. Because finding an apartment here is easy. You find the one you want, you agree on a price. You give them the first month's rent and a deposit, and that is it. There's no background checks, there's no credit checks, there's no extra waiting, no extra BS like we have back in the West. So that is my current school situation, life update, if you will. What was I going to say? Oh, yes. I want to say that when you come here, I know some of you are coming over here to teach. Don't be afraid to look at these little schools that are just language schools and not full-fledged international schools. I know the full-fledged ones, they have that air of stability about them. They usually have a lot of students. I mean, the IQ school campus is pretty big. I mean, that's a pretty huge campus. I was very impressed by it. It's very big, lots of offices, nice reception area. They seem to be very well put together and organized, which I really like. And I know that would be ideal to work in an environment like that because they don't have a lot of complaints against them. People aren't constantly going online saying I'm not getting paid, or this or that. Oh, and speaking of that, the pay for IQ, if they should accept me, you start out at $1,000 a month, and that's a salary. So that even includes holidays. You got 6 holidays in a month, you're still getting paid for them, which is good. After 90 days, they review you, and if you've been doing well, which, and this isn't to brag, but I know I will, because I may not be good at much, but I am a good English teacher. And I got the test scores and everything, copies of the test scores, copies of the children's progress reports and everything to prove that. But if you get a good review, you go up to the max amount, which is $1,300 a month, $1,300. That is a pretty good deal, and I will definitely take it if they offer it. But anyway, while that is the ideal to work at a full-fledged, full curriculum international school, don't be afraid when you get here to check out the smaller, the ones that if you blink or go by it too fast you might miss it kind of schools, because a lot of times these schools are much easier to get into. The qualifications are a little lower, not because they're lesser quality, but simply because they can't pay as much as international schools, so they're willing to give newer teachers a chance to get their foot in the door and teach. So don't be afraid to go to these ones. You look at the outside of the building and it might look a little rough, like it hasn't been painted in a long time, and it probably hasn't. But that's because they're pouring money into the what they need to make the school keep running. And don't be afraid of places like that. Since I've been here, I know of a couple schools that have simply closed down. International schools. They were open, now they're not for whatever reason. And a lot of that has to do with, negative reviews, not only from parents, but from teachers that work there. Word gets around this community, the expat and teacher community. And when a school is really screwing somebody over, that news spreads among teachers. And then when people come over, they ask, are there any schools I should avoid? And if 1, 2, 3 particular schools keep coming up over and over from the same community, that's a big red flag. Enter at your own risk, but don't say we didn't warn you when it goes south. And I know schools that have closed because English teachers don't want to work there. And then there are some smaller schools that have been open for years, and they may not be as successful money-wise, but they're run like a business and like an educational institute, and they don't make promises they can't keep. They'll be upfront with you. They'll tell you how much you're going to get paid, how many hours. And these kind of places are really worth looking into. They appreciate you taking a little bit of a pay decrease, if you will. Instead of $1,000, they might only be able to pay $700, $800 for 25 hours a week. But they appreciate that. Helps them out, keeps them going. And of course, you're getting paid enough, at least for the lifestyle I lead, to make enough money to live comfortably without having to worry about every little purchase. So, my piece of advice: don't overlook the smaller ones if you have trouble with getting into the bigger ones, because everybody applies to the bigger ones, right? Everybody wants to get in on the best of the best ones. And so they have this long list of applicants. Even if all their foreign teachers quit tomorrow, they would have them filled the next day. It's just crazy. I'm not saying ignore those. Get your name on that list if that's your eventual goal, definitely. But if the time of year you come over, you're having trouble at those schools, seek out the smaller ones. And I think you'll find that you'll be just fine. Anyway, that's what's going on. Gonna go back to the apartment now. Maybe watch some YouTube, movie, something. Go out in a couple hours, head down to Pub Street for a couple drinks, and then come back. All right. I will talk to you guys in the next one.